We'll go.
Oh, hi.
We're up and running.
How are you?
All good. How are you?
I sure look, I'm all right.
Now we're getting by.
We're getting by, Sean. This is it. I feel like I'm a seasoned quarantiner now.
It's desperate, isn't it? I'm the same.
What are you spending your days doing? What are you getting up to?
The last over Easter, was on the drink. I had a few beers over Easter, so I let the hair down a bit. But I'm back on the wagon again now, and I'm back
Good.
training and eating well. So better mindset.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. You do love a little drink, don't you?
Well, I love a drink as much as the next Irishman.
Yeah. So listen, what are you doing training wise? Are you getting to do you have anyone with you that you can train with, or are you just kind of doing stuff on your own?
Yeah, I've been running a lot. Been doing a lot of running, especially now that the weather's good, and I have a punch bag up out the back with a bracket and stuff. So um, I would do a run and then do a bag session with shadow boxing in between, and then I have a couple of weights as well. And
Lovely.
I've, like, my strength and conditioning coach give me the keys to his gym, so it's no one else be's in it. And he has sent me a program, so I can go over there and work away with that as well, which
Very
was
cool.
very kind of me.
So what if we weren't in quarantine, there was no coronavirus, what would you be doing now? Was there anything scheduled?
I would be fighting next week. I would be fighting next week. Well, 10 days, just under 10 days in Ulster Hall. We've been headlining against Craig Evans on the 25th of April. So, bit of a kick in the teeth and a bit of a setback. But listen, it's everyone's in the same situation. You just have to keep a positive attitude. And
When did you find
like,
out that the fight was off?
about 3 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago.
So how far into camp would you have been?
About 6 weeks. I done it an extra 2 weeks this time as I was going down to lightweight and going at a different weight category. So I started camp in January. I went to Dubai in January. I started camp there, and then from there I kicked on. I had great sparring organised for a southpaw opponent. I sparring Terry Flanagan, Jack Catterall. I was over in Liverpool when I got the call, and was told that basically the fight's going to be off and to go home. So
There was talk kind of at the start where there was a couple of different promotions that were like toying with the ideas of doing like a closed show, that there'd be no
yeah,
audience and just letting people fight. Would you preferred to reschedule or to fight in front of no audience?
no, I'd rather fight like in front of no audience. I've done it before, even as a pro. Like I've been offered a live float slot on a big matchroom bill on 2 occasions actually, and they've said no. I want to just fight first, get over and done with. It was early in my career, and probably a good opportunity to be a live float and get the TV exposure if it does go ahead. But the chances are you're waiting around all day and you don't get a live float and you don't fight till maybe 12:30 at night when all TV's over. So, and plus you're fighting a bum journeyman, which means fuck all. So I was just in, get the job done, and like this means fuck all in my career, beating up a journeyman. Who wants to tune in and watch that? Like, so that's probably when most people that were watching TV, like watching the fights, would go to the bar and get themselves another pint when my fight comes on or something like that. So I wasn't really fussed, and the arena was empty. I was first fight in Boston, or second fight in Boston maybe. The arena wasn't, it wasn't empty, but it wasn't packed. And then I was first fight on the Amir Khan undercard in Birmingham, and it was completely empty. It was just my support early, but I didn't care because I knew it was going to lose.
So you've fought in front, like you said, in front of like no one, and then you've also fought in front of like a full crowd, a screaming crowd. So you've experienced both. So is it
Yeah.
different? Can you feel the difference in, we'll say, energy when you're in the ring and you're about to fight?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because for example, in Birmingham when it was empty, like you could hear when I was throwing punches and landing good, decent punches, your opponent would make a noise like, oh, like a body shot. Oh, you could hear that, and you're like, so you knew to pounce on him. Like, it was a bit different, and you could hear the punches landing and stuff. It was like almost like an echo around the arena, which was, I was like, it's a bit weird, but there's no, I don't know, there's not as much adrenaline You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing to give you that extra lift if you need it. I think, now don't get me wrong, in spars and stuff, it's a closed room, most spars anyway. You'd only have a couple of people in the room, like it, but it's different. And you're working on stuff. Whereas you can, I think, at a higher elite level, Canelo and Billy Joe was to go ahead with no spectators, that would be a bit wrong, I'd
Yeah.
say. Like, you would notice it more so at that level.
Do you find yourself being very susceptible to like the atmosphere? I suppose like I mean all fighters who fight at your level and who are fighting on TV and in front of big crowds, they're all obviously able to do it because they're doing it, but some kind of block out the crowds, block out the kind of the manicness of everything that's going on, and some guys really really just like relish the whole atmosphere from start to finish and really soak up everything. Would you be more like that?
Uh, I'm learning because my last fight, sorry, my fight before that, I got carried away and got stuck in a bit of a slugfest fight with Dominguez, Emiliano Dominguez from Argentina, which I had the beatings, the easy just boxing, but the crowd was on top of me. And I love a fight as much as the next man, although I'm a good boxer and I'm a good mover and stuff like that. I like standing toe to toe. And I got carried away with the crowd. The atmosphere got me going and gave me a wee extra lift. But in my last fight against Godoy, it was a better opponent. And it took time more. And, I enjoyed the energy that the atmosphere brought, but I was a bit smarter about it. And I believe my performance showed that.
Absolutely. Let's I'm going to give just if everyone that's watching, I'm going to give them an opportunity to ask questions at the end so they can pop them into the box.
Yeah.
But I want to just go back and kind of look at your amateur career, and then we can talk a
Yeah.
little bit more about your professional career, because a lot of guys don't. I mean, they have amateur careers, but not maybe as esteemed as you had. You had such a good amateur career that if it had probably ended, then you could still say, like, I had a really good, boxing career.
Yeah.
What's some of your favorite memories from that time?
I think the crack and the stories we have with the
Mm-hmm.
lads, because it's a team. It's not an individual sport. You're on the Irish team. You're with all the lads. You're with Paddy, Mick, Tommy McCarthy. You're with, you're on a full team of people. And the crack you have along the way, I know it's a serious sport and there's serious training required to sustain that level and
Mm-hmm.
to perform at that level throughout the amount of time over there. But the crack and the stories you traveled the world, you had a laugh as well as serious training and serious fights. That's something you can never take away, because you find yourself, when you turn professional, it becomes it's always said anyway, it's a lonelier sport, but you don't make memories with people. You
Mm-hmm.
make memories by yourself and your coach, maybe. That's it. You won't look back on them memories and laugh about it,
Mm-hmm.
because you've no one to laugh about it with. You know what I mean? You'll look back. I look back already on my memories in the Irish team, and we'll talk about stories about just a bit of crack we had, and it's brilliant. Like, it's one of the best things to take away from it.
Were you able to appreciate at the time how honorable and how pride filled it is to represent your country and to travel the world and represent Ireland? Were you too young at the time, or did you recognize the value of it?
No, I recognise the value of it because of the more senior boxers on the team were able to let you know that early on, like, and you were looking at them going, fuck, like the likes of Darren O'Neill
Mm.
and stuff I'm sharing a team with, who's been around like decades, and I'm going, fuck me, like, and they were so honoured by still representing their country, and I was coming on the team and I was like, this is it, like, I've done it, I've made it the elite level, I'm
Mm.
representing my country at the highest possible level that you can think of, like, and it was probably the most honourable thing I've done, to be honest,
Mm.
to represent your country, the best feeling you'll ever get. And it's something you can never ever take away from someone, like, because it's the pinnacle of the sport. It doesn't get much better than it.
Absolutely. And what would you say would have been the biggest thing, learned experience that you took from your amateur career into your professional one?
Um, the most, don't know. I think maybe like ringcraft. I learned
Mm.
ringcraft, I think, a bit more later on in my amateur career, where I was able to. I can remember early in my amateur elite career when I joined the Irish team, I was always moving on the move, constantly moving, like, boxing. And I learned when I moved from lightweight to late welterweight that I don't always need to move. I'm tall, I'm skinny, but I don't need to move. I can keep people away by just staying where I am. And I developed ringcraft. And from there, I developed a completely different style where I felt comfortable. And now I'm doing it as a professional. And luckily enough that I did develop that,
Mm.
because with me getting in with such a straight up, old school boxing style going into a pro game, it wouldn't have worked. It couldn't have
Yeah.
worked. But now that I've got that ring craft and I can stay where I am and take punches and block punches and counter punches from being where I am rather than moving, it's developed a good professional style for me, and thankfully enough, I was able to develop it when I did.
Absolutely. What was your first day in boxing in when you went? Were you brought? Did you go yourself? Did you want to be a boxer? How did you end up in your amateur club?
I remember my brothers boxed. They were Irish champions as well. Like
Oh,
my
no
two
way.
older brothers, they won the All Irelands a few times. Like, and just my dad was a boxer. My uncle were boxers. It was always a thing. But then, and my new gym, Holy Trinity, is in my area. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a stone throw away from my house. Like, and we got a big club grant in 2000 or 1999. So we knocked the old club down and built a new one. And they took in new membership as young as 8, and I think I was 8 at the time. So my brother, one of the older brothers, David, was saying to me, I'm going to take you to boxing on Monday, so make sure you're in the house for 5:30. And I was out and about the area somewhere, and he was running about looking at me everywhere, and he found me, and he was like, you fucking stupid. I told you I'm taking you to boxing tonight. And I was like, I forgot. So I can remember getting in first day, and the club was packed with everyone from the area. Obviously, a new big gym, new membership opened, and the whole club was flooded with people. There was no space for. It's a big gym. There was no space for anyone even there. There was no gloves. There was like the club was well equipped, but it just wasn't. There just wasn't enough equipment for everyone because there was that many people. And then slowly over the months, you get to see the crowds dying off, and you sort of knew who was going to stick at it and who wasn't. But I wasn't a great trainer. Like, I didn't train much. I just showed up and hung about the club and fucked about them, but I didn't actually train.
So what changed then? Did it
Do you want to know what
suddenly
changed?
click?
Do you want to know what actually changed?
Yeah.
In the juveniles, I was boy 1, boy 2, whatever, right up to I won the Ulsters, I won the Antrims, which qualified me for the All Irelands as a kid, and get beaten the All Ireland final twice. And then the same again, and then the following year I didn't even qualify to get the All Irelands. Then the following year after that I didn't qualify, and my brothers were torturing me, like slagging me, giving me shit, going like laughing, you can't even win the All Ireland title, you can't win an Irish title, you can't win an Irish title. And my goal in my head was I need to win an Irish title. But it was the reason why I wasn't winning an Irish title is because I wasn't fit, because I didn't train. I was talented, but I just didn't train. I was always fucking about. And I got till I think 15. And I was like, you know what, I need to train this year. I have to do it. I'm not retiring until I win an Irish title. And then when I was 15, I won an Irish title. And I got the buzz of it. It was like, this is it. I'm the best in Ireland now, at my weight category and my age group. And it was in all the local papers and all this in school getting me fucking stand up. People all clap me in school at the assembly hall in school. I'm showing my medal and I got the buzz about it. And then I knew what it was like. I knew what it was like to train hard and what it took to win an Irish title. And from there on in, every year after it, I won an Irish title every year after it, right up until elite level. So,
Is there one that stands out? Are they all special, or do they get more special as they go
my
on?
first Irish elite was unbelievable because the year before I was 56 kilograms and John Evan beat me by a point, 13-12, and he had just qualified for London Olympics but I was only 17 or 18, so it was people. No one knew who I was. I wasn't a big name. Like, I mean, you had loads of real big names, all Irish champions and all elite fighters, and John Joe Navin beat me by a point the year before, which sort of gave me a name. But the following year, John Joe Navin wasn't entering a 56, so that was my chance to go in a 56 and win them. And my coach was saying, right, we'll get you down to 56, we'll enter them and we'll win them this year because John Joe's not there. So I was thinking, right, so 3-4 weeks into training camp, I was like, you know what? I'm sick of that because it's all over Christmas. You know, you're training over Christmas. It was that, and then I was like, this is doing my balls, and I'm not boxing 56. My coach is like, I'm after putting a lot of time into you. I've been training you for weeks and weeks and weeks. You're going 56. I says, I'm not doing it. Fed up. I haven't had a bar of chocolate in 3 days. My fucking head is nothing. So I decided to go 60. He decided against it, and I says, no matter what, I'm going 60. And psychologically, I wasn't prepared to box at 60, but I was doing it anyway. And when I went down, there was big names. You had David Oliver Joyce, you had Eric Donovan, George Bates, some big names at 60 kilograms. Like, and again, I wasn't really well known at this stage. And I went down and won them. I beat Eric Donovan in the semi-final, beat George Bates in the final. And from there, I just developed and just took off. Confidence went through the roof, and I just felt like that just catapulted me in the right direction of elite boxing. But it's a feeling that'll never leave me because I can remember going down as a massive underdog, even in the semi-finals against Eric Donovan. It was like sort of near enough to say my own coach was going, right, just be careful, don't be taking no chances, don't be fighting, just try and like near enough survive. And I was looking at him going, I'm going to win. He's like, yeah, I know you're going to win, but don't be fucking starting fighting or starting toe to toe. Take it serious. And I was like, I will, and I won. So that's
so
the best
good.
one.
Do you kind of thrive off being the underdog?
I used to. There was no pressure. But now I believe I just take every fight now as it comes and just I treat them all the same. I think that's one of the key factors to why I've probably stood out as a professional. If it's a journeyman or a well-known knockout artist, doesn't matter. I have to treat them the same as I go in, and I focus fully on my performance more than I do my opponents. So it's about me. It's not about my opponent. How good he is, how bad he is. You go in and treat it fully with full respect, and you treat every fight the same.
So when the decision came to turn pro, what were the conversations? Why was that the time that you decided to go? And how did you end up working with Danny, with Georgie?
I always said when I'm 25, I'll go professional and give it a go. Give myself 5, 6, 7 years max, like from the day I turn pro to see what happens. And my funding stopped with the Irish team. Well, I was on 12 grand a year, which is shit.
Yeah.
It's tax free and that, but just wasn't enough. And I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt it was time to go pro. I went to Commonwealth Games, got beat on a split decision. I went to Europeans, I got beat on a split decision. And that was for a medal, which would have put my funding from 12,000 to 20,000. And then if I'd have won the semi-final, I would have won 40,000. So it was like, it's just not meant to be. And I'm not waiting another year to go and chase it. And Bernard Dunn and stuff were encouraging me to stay amateur. They were like, just do it, stay amateur. You don't even have a professional style. And I was like, I don't care about the money no more. The money's shit. I'm not going nowhere. I don't why not? Sure, if the worst comes to the worst, I'll just go and get a job. And I gave it a go. And with Danny, I spoke to Jamie Cannon about going professional, and he tried to get me on Mick's homecoming card in Belfast. I fell through due to medical reasons, and then we agreed to have a go professional, and they announced it. And Paddy Barnes was already training with Danny Vaughan, which Paddy was very close to me on the Irish team. We stayed together for all them years. And Paddy was like, Danny says you can come over and do a week's trial and see what you think. I was like, oh, fuck it. So I just jumped on a flight on my own and went to Glasgow, met up with the lads and just kicked off from there. First day I met Danny was in the gym, but the first day in the gym, like I met him and we just kicked off right away. We had a bit of crack, we enjoyed training, and he seen I had a good work ethic and was skillful as well. So he was like, by the end of the week, he says, "So what do you want to do? Like, do you want to train with me or what?" I was like, "Aye, of course." I thought this was it, and he was like, "Oh no, just if you wanted to do a week's trial, like I just thought." I was like, "No, I thought you wanted to train." I don't know. It was a bit one of them, no, like I didn't know if it was his decision or my decision, but it was just like, no, I thought. He was like, "Well, do you want to announce it that I'm your coach?" I was like, "Oh, I fuck it, no problem." It was sort of one of them ones, like he didn't know and I didn't know, but I knew that I wanted to train with him, but he didn't know if I wanted to train with him.
Do you know what was that like? Because I mean, I had Jamie on last night, and I was telling him yesterday when I was getting stuff ready and doing a little bit of research. I started just watching all his other fights. You know, the world title one, Anthony Nelson, and it's only when you look back on old fights and you see like Danny in the corner and all the guys like in the
Yeah,
crowd and stuff, and I was kind of like, God, like they've experienced so much. They've been at so many iconic moments in boxing, you know,
yeah.
especially the Vaughans, you know, and the history of that family within boxing as well. What was that like for you to know that? Was there kind of like a confidence, I suppose, that you were going to be in safe hands and that, you know, they have a blueprint set out where you can really be successful?
Yeah, it's just Donnie's a very competitive. George as well his dad. George is a very competitive coach, same as Donnie, and it's more as well the bond.
Mm.
We clicked right away, and I sort of half knew that anyway because of Paddy, because me and Paddy were very close, because we had a bond, and the fact that Paddy and Danny had a very close bond, I was like, right, okay. And then when I get in and seeing when you get to a gym, it's serious and you
Mm-hmm.
knuckle down. And outside of that, before the warm up and after, you'll have a bit of crack and John will have a laugh. So, and then just over time of just getting to know him and training with him, even over the space of a couple of months, just started trusting him and listening to what he says. Like, I was already a good boxer, but you can never stop learning.
Yeah.
And Danny learns off me, and I learn off Danny. We both, even now, he will say, like I've heard him saying to people that we bounce off each other. Because if he thinks, when he tells me to do something in a spar, I'll do it instantly. I won't
Mm.
hesitate and do it. And 9 times out of 10 it works. Whereas some people don't have the confidence to try it because it's not a punch that they usually throw, or it's not a move that they would usually do, like slip left hand, or, you know, it's certain, like if he sees an opening and he's telling me to throw it, I trust that he can see that opening and it's going to land, so I'll throw it. And like I say, 9 times out of 10 it lands.
Or you as a
Um,
boxer?
I'd say composure,
Mm.
slow me down, take the
Did I
time,
not
and
say that to you the last time we done the
you did.
interview, the post-fight interview? I was like, the composure, it's like so clear as day to see, you know?
That's it. Danny's young in terms of coaching. He's 40 odds, he's 46 or so. So 47 or he may be, but
Jesus,
he's still
add a
young.
couple more years on there for my touch.
He's still young, and in terms of pro, like his dad's 80 odds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's still young, but he has tons of experience. He's experienced it. He's seen it all. He's seen good amateurs. Like he